What is cracking, boys? Today's actually the same day which I finished off the last video, but you know what, I just thought I'll come outside in the evening after dinner with a pint of beer and crack on with the project. So in the first part of the video, as you can see, it's pretty dark outside, so we're not going to be doing too much to the car. We're mainly just going to be doing a couple of little bits and bobs, and then we'll continue tomorrow when we go ahead and pull out the brake booster, all the brake lines, the clutch master cylinder, all the clutch hard lines, and then yeah, we will be pretty much good to go to start sanding the engine bay and going ahead and shaping it into the right place, everything like that, how we want it. So yeah, what we're going to do, I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to explain to you how we're going to get started with this. And we're going to start by deleting one of the things. I'll talk to you in a bit more detail when the camera's flipped. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know there used to be a HVAC canister here. And what that does, it filters the fuel vapour before returning it to the atmosphere. But we deleted that because we didn't want it anymore and it takes up space in the engine bay. And what we did is basically there was an inlet for it and an outlet for it, which went into the canister, and we just connected them up so it bypasses it completely. Now, I never actually knew what this is. I always thought this went straight back to the fuel tank, but upon further inspection it doesn't. So if we have a look down here, we've just got, which I've already unclipped anyway, but we've got a little piece here which basically just feeds the vapour down there out of the engine bay, so it just fucks off. Only problem is, which, you know, that's quite a clean delete as it is, but we want it to be even cleaner. So what we're going to do whilst it's out is, as you can see, we don't need this bit going over the top of here, which you're going to be able to see once the engine's back in. We don't want to see it anymore. So we're going to cut the line here. Now, massive side note, this is a fuel line. So do not use an angle grinder or a rotary tool on this, because the sparks could cause a massive upset. So we're just going to be using just a saw, but going very slowly so it doesn't create any sparks, which is going to be perfectly fine. Alternatively, you could always, you know, use loads of different things. You could always use like even like cutters on pliers might go through it, and you can just open it back up a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut that here, and we're going to reroute the hose just somewhere neatly down there, just so it neatens it up nicely. So we're going to start by doing that and taking all this apart. Now this piece here, which was there, as you can see, we just put the pliers in there. Oh, through the middle. It just pops out, and as you can see, it's not connected to a hose or anything. So that just deposits it in there. So we don't need that anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off all of these. So this one, bish, bash, bosh. We'll just completely delete all that, and we'll just be left with that little bit there. Good morning everyone, we are back again. Last night I couldn't get too much done, but we're back again to finish everything off. So I've already been cracking on for the last like 10-15 minutes, and what we've done is we've taken off from the back box all the way to the turbo in terms of that exhaust section. So that's all off, and now we've got easier access to the drive shaft. We're going to unbolt that just because we don't need it unbolted for the engine bay, but since we're rolling the car in and out of the garage, we don't want it dragging along the floor because obviously it's not connected to the transmission now. So there's, I think it's 4, I don't think it's 5, yeah, it must be 4 or 5 14mm bolts holding the drive shaft to the diff. So we'll unbolt those now. Once that's unbolted, we're gonna look to sort out the PPF because that's on the floor as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take that up or find a way of just tying that up for the time being with some zip ties or something like that. And then we can go ahead and switch round to the front section. We'll take off both fenders at the front, which is going to be fun because then we can do the wire reroute, and then we can go ahead and look at doing the brake booster, all the brakes, clutch safe cylinder, all of that shebang. So yeah, it's New Year's Eve today. We'll see how much we can get done. Hopefully we can get all of that done, but I'm on a tight time schedule because obviously I'm going out for a naughty boy sesh this evening. Oh yeah, and also I've had my bonnet cut. As you can see, it's no longer as much of a mess as it was. So, well, it wasn't a mess, but it was just a bit long and too long to maintain. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll jump under the car and undo this drive shaft. Right, success. We've got a 14mm on there. Now, this drive shaft shouldn't spin now, really. Well, no, it's look it's going to be. So, where can I put this phone now? Oh, hey. There we go, lads. So, you can kind of see what I'm doing. But yeah, there's just a couple of... Go on there, you silly. It was not a 14. Was that a 14? Oh, it's because I picked up a 13. Got a spanner. Well, hey, that's on there. And now we're just going to have to try to unbolt this. So this one, I might be able to get to the second one from here as well. My handbrake shit. Because my caliper's seized at the back, which also needs to be replaced. One of the wheels is still spinning. I'm going to go try yank it up a little bit more, and hopefully that does the trick. But if not, I'm kind of buggered. Fuck. Success. One drive shaft off the MX-5. Now that was an absolute bitch. Like, the bolts were alright. We sorted them out pretty quickly by just wedging the wheel, even though that really emphasises that I need to change that caliper. But the problem was, once the bolts came out, it was so seized on there. Like, I was trying to whack it with like a what's it called? Rubber mallet, all sorts. It wouldn't come out, so I had to just basically rip it off, which took quite a lot of doing, but yeah, it's finally off. Now we can go ahead and unbolt these fenders. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up a little time lapse of me taking these fenders off, and then we'll crack on with the engine bay. We'll go ahead and put the rear back down, jack up the front end, and start taking off these brakes. And then hopefully we'll be at a stage where we can start working on the engine bay. Apart from just pulling through the wiring harnesses, which I showed you in the last episode, I need someone else here to help me do that. Actually, I'll get my brother to come out in a bit. We'll sort them out. But yeah, that'll be the last thing we do. So I'm gonna go ahead, take off these fenders, and then we'll crack on. Right, well, one of the wings is finally off. Now, we may have run into a little issue, and we've discovered something underneath the wing on the MX-5. Luckily, before I film this, I've gone at it in just a tiny little spot of an angle grinder, just to see how thick said thing is. And it's not bad at all, it just looks like it's surface. I've whacked it all, not structural at all. So we need to fix this ASAP, because it does look pretty bad. And yeah, if I didn't decide to take off the wings and do this engine bay, these front arches or front seals would not have lasted long. So let me flip the camera and show you what's going on. Right, this is what we found. Now, yeah, that looks absolutely atrocious. I didn't even know this was there, and this is why you should check this, you know, at least every couple of years. If you haven't checked this since you've got your MX-5, take off your wing and sort it out. Luckily for me, I've gone at the bit which looked the worst, and it's pretty thin. We can see metal underneath. I've just done it very slightly with the angle grinder to try to smooth it down. So hopefully this is savable without welding. It should be fine from the looks of it. I mean, it's you know, it's still got a nice amount of structure to it, and I've gone. Nothing's going through that. So yeah, that's probably going to be our next video, is sorting these out and getting them back to new. But I'm very, very glad I did this, because if we didn't, we'd have some serious problems down the line, and we'd have to cut all this out and weld it, which hopefully we don't need to do. We might still need to do, and if we do, I'll show you how to do that step by step along the way. Right, so now both wings are off, we're going to go ahead and take out the clutch master cylinder with all the clutch line, and then we'll go ahead and do the brakes after we've done that. So yeah, let's crack on. All we've got to do, let me flip the camera, I'll show you how we undo it, and then we'll crack on, do a little time lapse. Right, so this part was bolted in right there. We've just undone that and put the bolt back in and pulled out the clutch line, so that's all free. Now, to take out the master cylinder, we've got a bolt down there. Looks like a 12 to me, maybe even a 14. And then we've got one on the inside as well, which you can see. So we're gonna go ahead, unbolt this one, and then I'll bolt the other one from the inside now. Right lads, it's about almost 3 o'clock now. Gets dark about 4 and I've got a couple more bits to do and put everything inside before it gets dark. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a quick update where we're at, and then I'll give you another update once I finish, because I ain't got time to film it and keep going back and forwards and get it done. It's going to be a struggle to get it done as it is. But what we've done, disconnected both front brake lines. One of them I had to saw through. Gonna have to replace that hard line, but fuck it. You know, the little bolt to undo it was completely corroded, and yeah, I just rounded it basically, in short. So I just sawed through that, I'll replace that. That's not that much of a big issue at all. So what we need to do now, we've taken off the, I think it's called a brake master cylinder, I presume, little cylinder there. That's been taken off the brake booster. I presume the brake booster has 2 bolts or whatever holding it on inside, so I'll undo those, whip them out, and then we'll go ahead and try to neaten up all of these wires. It's just a matter of them being pulled through now, and then everything is removed from the engine bay. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll catch up once the car is back in the garage, and then we'll talk to you what we've done and what's coming in the next episode. And we made it. I've got about half an hour to spare and all before it gets dark, so I smashed it out. Only thing that needs doing is the wires, and I've tried to get them through that hole, and it's going to be such a ball ache, so difficult to get them back through again without unclipping all of the wires inside, which means ripping out the interior. That I think it'll be perfectly fine to just tie them up and hang them in the air. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up a time lapse now of me doing so, and then once it's done, I'll give you a few cinematic shots of the engine bay.
Silky beat.
As you can see, the bay is completely stripped. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. Now we've got to do the big boy work and start smoothing it, filling all the holes, and we can prepare it for some paint. Yeah, I can't wait to start on that. That's going to be absolutely wicked. And yeah, we also need to put some order for parts for the engine back there. As you can see, my drive needs another pressure wash from all the fluids which keep leaking out. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. Like I said earlier, it's New Year's Eve today, or the day I'm filming this, and I need to go out for a few drinks to celebrate the end of the year. But yeah, massive thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace.